So we're at Van Dusen Gardens, and this is the EPIC. What's the full name?
EPIC Sustainable Living Festival.
Right, and your name is?
Nancy Wright.
And what's your involvement with the festival?
I'm the executive director of the festival. And well, I've been the executive director since the start of EPIC, which we're now in our 7th year actually. This is just the first year it's become a festival.
And we're standing in the middle of this amazing, beautiful garden.
Yeah.
And you have arranged everything all over the garden. So
we have taken over.
Yeah, so maybe describe some of the different areas that you've filled in here.
Sure. Well, we have, sort of our bigger installations, or we have a main stage where we've had 20 bands over the course of the weekend. And we have a big, very active sip and savor garden, and we've got 22 wineries and breweries in there, and 1 local distillery. We have our kids zone, we're just on the cusp of our kids zone right here. And then we have our food truck alley, where we have 19 food trucks installed over the weekend. And yeah, we've got sort of little pockets of areas in the flowers all over the place. So we've got live artists and different things going on everywhere.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about how a lot of this is new, having the music and things like that. What would you say is new this year from previous years?
Well, we've never really done bands before. So this is, that's part of taking it to a festival format, is having music, having live music, and we have had very good bands, all local BC bands. We're really, one of the things about this festival is we're trying to support the local economy. So they're all BC bands, but very good BC bands. And then we've really blown out our food and beverage this year, because this year we have this food truck alley. We could never do that in the convention center, of course, and a big sip and savor garden where people have been able to spread out and tuck these wineries in amongst the trees. And
so to go in a little bit more detail into like you're mentioning the music, it's being local. So how about some of the other choices with, say, the food trucks? Because you're saying sustainable living festival, so what about the food trucks sort of fits into that vision?
Well, that's a great question. Again, they're all local. They're Vancouver-based food trucks. So, EPIC, there's sort of 2 prongs to what we're doing here. We're supporting local community, but we're also trying to choose companies that are here that are doing better things for the environment and for the community. So we're really trying to focus on those companies that are making products or delivering services that are better for your health, better for the environment, that they're making an effort to be good citizens and good businesses.
So could you pick out, not to make others feel bad, but pick out maybe one of those that you think sort of is an example of that?
Oh, wow. Well, they all are. That's the thing. They all are, because a whole number of our food trucks, for instance, let's just focus on the food trucks because people don't really think sustainable when you think of a food truck. But a lot of them they're using, for serviceware, they're using compostable products. So their forks and their serving trays are compostable or recyclable in some way. They're using recycled napkins, they've got energy efficient appliances in their trucks, and a lot of them are using local organic products in their food.
And the marketplace as well, are these vendors that have been coming back year after year, or are you sort of changing the focus in terms of the kind of vendors that you have?
I would not say that we've changed the focus, because these are the kinds of vendors that we've always really focused on. And so we have a good mix. We definitely I'd say we get probably about a 60% return on exhibitors from any previous year, and then we've got a whole bunch of new ones too. So the mix is always ever changing, which is really nice.
So what about this year have you noticed, is there any kind of trends in terms of the type of businesses that are coming out as sustainable businesses? Well,
I'm noticing a lot on the food side. We're seeing so much more of the gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. They're really hitting the allergens and that kinds of things in food. So we definitely have a lot more representation of those kinds of foods here this year than we've ever had in the past.
And you have a kids zone as well. Is that something that you had before, or is that new?
You know, we've had a kids zone before, but it's kind of tricky to do that in the convention center. I mean, here, honestly, the park is one big kids zone. So kids can run around and play and fall and roll on the grass, but we set up sort of old-fashioned garden games for kids. So what they have is they've got tug of war, and they've got spoon races, and they've got all kinds of just fun old-fashioned garden games. And then they've got there's an inflatable obstacle course, and we've had all kinds of theater people around entertaining, and yeah, it's very, very much more family friendly.
I was going to say, is that a trend that you've seen coming since you started this? So there's maybe more in the direction of families coming?
Yes, definitely. I can see that very clearly this year compared to when we've been in the convention center in a more traditional trade show format in the past. Most definitely.
So the last thing is that you also have speakers, and what was the idea about choosing the speakers this year?
Well, again, we wanted to choose speakers that were local speakers, and speakers that were talking about things of importance to the community, but really interesting segments of business. For instance, we've had a couple of sessions on sustainable fashion. We've had sessions on co-op housing and how to move co-op housing forward in a way that makes sense for the public and for developers. We had Sandra Oldfield yesterday, who is the CEO of Tinhorn Creek Winery, and she was talking about their sustainable vineyard practices, which was beyond fascinating. It was really interesting to hear what she had to say. And so she gave that perspective on what's going on in the wine industry, which was really nice to have. So yeah, and we've got gardening workshops as well. So we've got speakers doing gardening workshops on composting and pruning and all those things as well.
Yeah, I noticed in Vancouver particularly, it seems like there's a lot of the community gardens, the urban gardens happening.
Yes.
In all the neighborhoods. Are you seeing that as a strong trend going this year and beyond?
Yeah, and I know that it's also a key priority of the City of Vancouver, so we're going to be seeing more and more of that. Yeah.
And in terms of connecting online, because you have a website as well.
Yes, yeah.
What's the website address?
It's epicfest.ca.
And are you connecting to other groups, or how are you connecting and networking online to, because I'm thinking of Ethical Deal has kind of been doing this green idea and promoting. Are you working with other groups? Yeah,
we have done some work with Ethical Deal. We've done, there's a lot of associations and NGOs that sort of hover into this sphere that we've been working with, and they've been helping us not only promote it, but to find the right companies to participate as well. So yeah, we really do try to get our fingers out within the community and get into those different areas, because the companies are really spread out. They're coming from a variety of sectors. So we need to sort of be out there with the business associations and the NGOs, and because everybody can play a role here.
And anything else you'd like to say this year?
Well, I'm very excited about the weather. The weather has made it really wonderful, and it's been great to have people come out and test it out for our first festival. So yeah, I think, from here we'll grow it more and more, and have bigger and more well-known bands, I think, each year, and take it from here. I expect that we've got lots of room to grow here. I expect we probably will.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.